गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We were on 26th verse, isn't it? Hello?
Yes,
We are on verse 26 starting, right?
Yes, Swamiji. And 393 we finished, Swamiji.
393 we finished. Okay. Oh, okay. 393.
We had to start from 394.
Yeah, okay. We are in Jnaneshwari, chapter 17, and we are in verse number 25, OV number 393. And where are we? 393, 375. Here. 81, 85. So here we were seeing what Jnandeva says, it is not I who says this. If I say so, it will be sullied with the taint of duality in respect of Sri Hari. So I say that this is what the Lord has said. These very simple sentence. It's very simple. I am not saying, Bhagwan is saying. But what is the implication? Sometimes when you just dwell on it, what is there for us to learn here? It is not Lord is saying from above the clouds or Lord is saying from the temple. We have to become an instrument from whom the Lord is functioning. And when will Lord function? When the individuality dissolves. When will the individuality dissolve? When body identification dissolves. When will body identification dissolve? When we are surrendered to the infinite. When we know that this Atma Tattva, this Atma Swarup is none other than infinite reality. And instead of giving validity to the world, we are accepting the unopposed presence of that reality as the self. Then these things happen. Then these words will automatically, then it is not, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying that Lord said. That's very, very superficial. When Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, when other Mahatmas speak, people listen. When we speak, people don't listen. Our children themselves don't listen. Why? This is the reason. Because through the Mahatmas, the infinite reality or the Ishvara is functioning. And from us, our ego is functioning. So, that one simple sentence here in the, what was it? ना मीची जरी हो म्हणे तरी श्रीरंगी दुजे हेची उणे म्हणोनी हे बोलणे देवाचेची ना मीची इदम न मम. Remember somewhere else it came idam na mama. I don't know where it came, but it's applicable here. That we are not doing anything. So I say that this is what the Lord has said. This syllable Sat is also beneficial to sattvic action in another way. Even if these good actions are performed well according to one's qualification, they may become defective in some way, just as when a body has a defective limb, its activity comes to a stop, or if a chariot is deficient in one part, it comes to a dead halt. So even if an action is right on the whole, it may become bad being deficient in some quality. We talked about it last week. Just to recap, here he says, even these good actions performed well according to one's qualification. You are a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, you are doing according to, you are a professor, you are teaching well, you are a doctor, you are performing your diagnosis well. And yet sometimes, unknown to you, things go wrong. The diagnosis is not right. And here are the examples. And this is coming. This is destined to happen that way. It is not your fault, it is not anyone's fault, but it happens. When we take a position, because doctor is not perfection, being a mother is not perfection, being a father is not perfection, being an acharya is not perfection, being a seeker is not perfection. Yes, we may have Uttam Adhikari, but Uttam Adhikari is not perfection. Perfect is only one, and that is the infinite reality, our own Atma Swarup. That alone is perfect. And that which is imperfect, that which itself is an effect of ignorance, how can it be perfect? You may do everything that is right, the do's and don't touch this and don't touch that, and eat, do the puja properly or the havan properly. But because it is done with an egocentric desire, something will go wrong. And that is what, and here he says, just as a person, when a body has a defective limb, its activity comes to a stop. Why only a defective limb? Many people lose the inspiration to live if someone dear to them dies. If someone has cancer, if someone has some disease, the person who's attached to that person, they lose the plot. We must have come across many people like this. So, what to talk of only the limb? Yes, if one leg is not there, then depression. How will I live? What will I do? I don't want to be dependent. How is this life worth living? Let's commit suicide. No. Or if a, just like another example taken, just as if one wheel of a chariot is broken, the chariot comes to a full stop. It cannot move forward. And the third, what is the other one? So even if an action is right on the whole, it may become bad being deficient in some quality. Remember our Bali Maharaj, he was doing the yajna, the 100 yajnas, so that he can defeat Indra and get the Padvi of Indra. Everything was going perfect, no mistake in anything. The 100th yajna, and as it was coming to a close, coming to a conclusion, Vamandev came and he said, Bhiksham Dehi, I heard you are giving dan. He saw a small batu, a small child coming towards him, and in that arrogance that I have given wealth and cows and gold and clothes and land to everyone, every person who came and asked for the alms, in that arrogance that now he is hatching his eggs already, that the yajna is almost over. Yeah. And what can this small kid ask? And he says, what do you want, my son? He says, I just want land as big as much as my 3 steps can cover. In that arrogance, see, arrogance, because I am doing the yajna. Where I is there, where the ego is there, the mind becomes contracted. It does not see the possibility of other possibilities. And therefore, he says, given. See? And his teacher is saying, don't do this, he is cheating you, this is Lord Vishnu. He does not listen. See? So, and everything was going well, but the Havan was the conclusion, what he wanted, that he didn't get. Same thing, Daksha Prajapati, doing his heaven, invited all the gods, made one mistake, just because of his animosity towards Lord Shiva. He thought he was uncouth, uncultured. He had to lose his daughter, he had to lose his head too. So here, action, simple rule, action can never be perfect, because action is the grandchild of ignorance. Avidya, kama, karma. And what is avidya? Self-forgetfulness. It leads to kama, desire. And that desire then prompts activity in life. And therefore, no desire can ever be fulfilled and no action can be ever perfect. Now, with this data, now what will you do? Will you chant the Vedic mantras and the Upanishads perfectly? Still you will be making a mistake sometime or the other. Will you do pranayam properly? You will make a mistake somewhere. Only one mistake is required. After that, pranayam stopped. No more Kapalbhati after that. One lock. When it will happen? It requires just teeny, minuscule swaying of attention. When we are being alert with willfully, then there is every chance of getting distracted. See? So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, so where are we? So that, so even if an action is right on the whole, it is you, from your point of view, you have done everything correct, everything perfectly without missing out on anything. Still, there is every possibility of a virus coming in and spoiling that action. You can't help it, because it is an egocentric action, and action is, karma is where doership is. You may say idam na mama, but you are saying Lord is not hungry for words. The divine is not hungry for words. What is divine hungry for? I am asking. What is divine hungry for?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Okay. What else? What is God hungry for? Bhav.
To remove bonds on
Bhav. He does not want logic. He does not want words. He does not want imagination. He wants your bhava. He wants your heart and mind. Completely available. Then he can function. Therefore, this Jnaneshwari which is there, it is not a logical explanation. We are adding to that. But whatever Jnaneshwar Maharaj has said, he is talking to common man. And he is saying it out of love. He is saying it out of the bhav for the divine and his guru and for the people, because his vision is transformed. Who? Jnaneshwar Maharaj is. And therefore he is saying, I am not the speaker. It is the Lord who is speaking. Can you say that? That you are not speaking and the Lord is speaking? See? It is Bhavartha Deepika. See? These words of Jnaneshwar Maharaj are coming from his heart, not from his mind. They are coming as a result of grace. In this situation, with the help of the words Om and Tat, the Sat syllable restores the defective action. When we recognize the substratum, what was the substratum? Sat. Sat is existence. Sat is existence is truth. Both mean the same. Our understanding truth is in opposition to telling lies. Our understanding of existence is opposite of non-existence. So just as simply as the mother and the daughter are woman only, same way Sat and existence and truth are one and the same. That is the basis. Action cannot happen by itself. Action is happening at the, I have told you many times, it is happening only at the equipment level. Activity is happening only at the equipment level. Movement is happening at the equipment level. A dead man does not move. So this equipment called body, breath, mind, intellect, it becomes activated in the presence of life, in the presence of Atma. That Atma is existence. And that what is saying, that this Sat syllable restores the defective action. See? What is that? That action which is done without doership, without ownership, becomes purified. See? So we saw Om, Tat and Sat. Om was before beginning any activity, we had to chant Om. Tat was the result of the activity. So that Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. So there the intention was purified, and by Sat the doer is purified. By chanting Sat, the doer is purified. The ahankar, the kartrutva abhiman, that is dissolved, diluted. Understand in this manner. It removes the defect by its power of sattva and brings it to perfection. Like divine medicine which is given to a patient or help rendered to a despondent person, this syllable Sat helps in making defective action perfect in all respects. That activity which is done without doership has to be necessarily perfect. How can it be perfect? Before you said that action can never be perfect. Now you are saying that activity done without doership is necessarily perfect. What do you mean? Anyone can throw light?
It means then it is done by the Ishwar.
Ah?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Is done by the Atman, Swamiji. There is
Whatever,
no question.
one and the same thing. Ishwar, Atman. Okay. What else? Anyone else? Any more brainwaves? Any more brainwaves?
There
No.
is nothing but perfection in the. There is nothing but perfection, Swamiji.
Yeah, that is also true. From Ishvara's point of view, is there anything other than Ishvara? Huh? From the reality point of view, is there anything other than reality?
No.
And if reality is perfect, then everything is perfect. In fact, from reality's point of view, there is nothing called everything. Take one more step. From reality's point of view or Sat point of view, eventually this seeker will get delivered there. From Sat point of view or that Atma point of view or Ishvara point of view, I can't use the word Ishvara here because Ishvara is with respect to Jeev Jagat Ishwar, so we'll keep him aside. From the reality point of view, action also is not possible. You murdered someone in the dream and then you woke up because of the shock of it. Do you feel guilty? Do you feel guilty? No. Then what happened to that event in the dream? Shift deleted in toto. Nothing left behind, isn't it? Because it didn't happen only. It's an imagination of the mind. A figment of imagination of the mind. Exactly the same way. Whatever action, whatever karma any wave may do, from water's point of view, there is only perfection. From water's point of view. From waves' point of view, any action will always be imperfect. Now apply this to yourself. From an individual point of view, any action performed, because there is doership, kartrutva abhiman, it will have a defect. But when it is offered to Sat and your attention goes to Sat and remains in Sat, and eventually you realize that Sat and Aham Brahmasmi, then from that it will not happen straight away. It will take time. Initially you are just chanting Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, slowly, slowly, slowly. You were not born chanting Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, or Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Somewhere in your life, you got initiated or you got interested in a particular mantra and you started chanting that mantra, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And if you have been doing it diligently, then now by default it is going on in your mind. But it has taken some time, and that time is directly proportional to your bhava, to your availability to that mantra. The urgency, the intensity, the focus, the bhava, the samarpan towards that mantra and whatever that mantra is indicating, the Lord. Otherwise, mechanically keep going, no problem. Same way, we begin with Om Tat Sat, and slowly, 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 as our Kartrutva Abhiman keeps dissolving, many times you will fall, many times you will go back to the egocentric action. Again you will correct yourself, again you will, it's a journey. It's a journey for the Jiva. Actually there is no journey, because everything is truth. This Jiva has imagined the journey, because he feels he is something special, something specific, and he collects enough data, and now we are trying to delete and dissolve that data by Om Tat Sat. See, all the actions, all the fruit of actions, Om is before all the actions, Tat is the fruit of actions is attributed to the divine, the Tat meaning the Ishvara, and by Sat the individuality, the Kartrutva Abhiman, the doership is dissolved. And in this way, understand, it removes the defect by its power of Sattva and brings it to perfection. This one line, this is the depth in it. Like divine medicine, we already saw that. So Sat helps in making defective action perfect in all respects. When any action performed without ownership, without Kartrutva Abhiman, when an action performed without any Kartrutva Abhiman, it is deemed perfect. So then Durvasa Rishi, if he gives a curse, because he is a master curser, every small thing he will curse. But there is no Kartrutva Abhiman. So his curse becomes a boon to whoever he is cursing. See? Another way of looking at it is that when action is performed without Kartrutva Abhiman, then that, whatever that action is, it becomes prescribed action. It gets the sanction of the scriptures. How can you say that? I am chanting Sat. You are chanting Sat, that I am, that is the problem. Therefore the scriptures, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, it says that even the saints and sages, we cannot tell or dictate how they must speak, how must they behave, how must they act in life. Because a realized master, whatever he does or does not do, I am using our language, doing and not doing, it is always perfect. If he spits at anyone, perfect. If he hits anyone, perfect. If he loves anyone, perfect. Like Ammachi came, Ammachi was there in some city, I can't remember where. Someone told me, one of the brahmacharis. And one guy with leprosy came. And he had shown it to all the doctors, but he was not healing. When he went to Amma, when you see a leper, will you hug him? No, you will run far away. Even though it is not contagious, they say, but we have this notion that it is contagious, we don't want to come near them. Ammachi got that fellow in her embrace and started licking his wounds. Spontaneously, no planning before. The person became well, free of leprosy. See? Now, where is it written in the scriptures that if you do this, this thing will happen? Where is it said that Akkalkot Maharaj, he used to have a dand. With that dand he used to hit, he used to give abuses to the devotees who used to come. And people used to come to get the scolding and to get hit because they were feeling guilty. And one danda, all guilt cleared, all papam cleared. Where is it prescribed that you should hit with a staff and their sins will be removed? Nowhere. But realized masters do not come under the jurisdiction, under the diktat of the scriptures. See? So whatever they do, it becomes Shastra Sammat. But we are don't think, I can also do it. No, you can't. Because as long as I can also do it, I can go on. Follow the scriptures, follow the do's and don'ts, follow the rules. These things don't happen by thinking, they happen spontaneously. Continuing. So we are in the 393 now. दिव्य औषध जैसे रोगिया कासावा वो ये भंग लिया सत शब्दू कर्मा व्यंग लिया तैसा जाण अथवा काही प्रमादे कर्म आपुलिये मर्यादे चुकोनी पडे निषिद्धे वाटे हन चालतया ही मार्गू सांडे पारखियाची अखरे पडे राहाटी माझी न घडे काई काई. He says here that where are we? Yeah. So the divine medicine, we saw that. Then otherwise it so happens, this is the 394th. Otherwise it so happens that due to heedlessness, action takes to the wrong path, transgressing the precepts of scriptures, even as the wayfarer sometimes misses his way or the connoisseur becomes confused. In such cases, is there any limit to what may happen? See? Mistakes don't come by planning. Accidents don't come by planning. They happen. They happen. See? So, action takes to the due to heedlessness, because as long as the ego is there, as long as the doer is there, that माद चढ़ जाता है. He gets intoxicated that I am organizing this, I am giving lectures, I am a satsangi, I am a great sattvic person, I am such a great devotee of the Lord. Just now in this Radha Krishna, that Banasur, I am the great devotee of the Lord Shiva. See? And therefore, what we should do? Lord Shiva must come down and fight on his behalf with Krishna. That is the boon he has taken. That anyone who comes to fight with me, if I am, if I am getting defeated, you will come and protect me. And he invokes Lord Shiva to fight Krishna. See, this is. He is intoxicated with with who he is as an individual. तुझे पता नहीं, I have made my life single-handedly. You don't know. I came from a village and I used to sell newspapers, and then from newspapers I opened a Reda. From Reda I moved to a shop. And then I made enough money, then I studied, and then I did this and I did that. Now today I am a so and so Tismarkha. I am. I swindled so many people and they don't even know that I swindled them. See? This is the intoxication of the doer. That I did it. And as a result of that, because of that intoxication, he forgets to follow the right path and misses. Somewhere he makes a mistake. as much as alert. We do a bit of Vedic chanting every now and then. As much perfection you may practice, still you will have something to improve. You can never be perfect. And if you have not chanted that particular mantra for some days, it will come out something somewhere. You will go, instead of up, you will go down, instead of down, you will go up. Or you will mispronounce something. How long can you be focused? But when that Vedic mantra has become completely one with you, then you don't have to think about it. Then it is coming by His grace, His will. Then I don't have to focus. When I am focusing, then headache comes. Because continuous focus. Even just as a traveler misses his way, or a connoisseur becomes confused. The one who is tasting wines and all that, connoisseur of cloth, connoisseur of food, makes mistake when too many. If you are watching Master Chef, I don't know how that fellow, he eats and every 20-30 people come, keep feeding him. And still he is able to tell what the other is it good or bad. His tongue, all the taste buds must be all confused. Or it is already rigged from beforehand. In such cases, is there a limit to what may happen? Is the question. Rahati माझी न घडे काई काई म्हणवनी तैसी कर्मा रांभस्ये सांडे सीमा असाधुत्वाचिया दुर्नामा ये वो पाहेजे तेथ गाहा सत्शब्दु ये रादो ही परीस प्रबुद्धू लोहा परीसाची घृष्टी वो हळा गंगेची भेटी. Extra line here, tune changed. का मृता जैसी वृष्टी पीयूषाची पाय असाधु कर्मा तैसा सत्शब्दु प्रयोग वीरेशा हे असौ गौरवुची ऐसा नामाचा यया घेऊनी ये थिचे वर्म जय विचारिसी हे नाम ते केवळ हेची ब्रह्म जाणसी तू. He says here that in this manner, if the indiscriminate action transgresses the prescribed rules, then it tends to become evil action. If we are not following the scriptures, then it becomes an evil action, a sinful action. See? Or if there is doership in an action, it becomes an evil action or a sinful action. From a higher standpoint, unmeritorious action is sin. You understand that? Meritorious action is also sin. Understand this. Meritorious action is also sinful. We want to go beyond. Our goal is beyond action. Because action only, if the action is being performed by a tamasic ego or a rajasic ego, rajasic doer or a sattvic doer, it's still the doer is there, no? We want to go transcend the three. And therefore, karma is imperfect. And here he says, then it tends to become evil action. When the sat syllable, which is better than the other two, is employed, it turns the bad action into good one. I have already explained this to you, that action, when your attention is on the sat, not on the action, then your doership will dissolve, and as a result it becomes a good action. O warrior, the application of syllable word sat is beneficial to faulty action, like the rubbing of the philosopher's stone on iron, the meeting of a stream with the river Ganga, or a shower of nectar on a dead person. Such is the greatness of the Sat syllable. How beautiful Jnaneshwar Maharaj is explaining. How beautiful. And a stream flowing from nowhere to nowhere suddenly finds by grace itself merging into the Gangaji. Now it is called as Gangaji. Its name changes. It is the tributary or the of Ganga. It is, see, Ganga is the holy name. It is another expression of the Lord himself. Among the rivers I am Ganga, he says. But it was a nobody before. Similarly, here he says that that the Sat is. So just like rubbing of the philosopher's stone, when action is associated to Sat, the action gets purified. Just like the iron gets purified, it becomes gold. This is what philosopher's stone does. In our life, who is philosopher's stone? The saints and sages are the philosopher's stone. Just like iron filings, when they come in the presence of a magnet, they also exhibit the magnetic ability. It was not there in them, but because of proximity to the mother magnet, they also become magnetized. Same way, when we are in the presence, in the company, in the service, in the satsang with realized masters, saints and sages, with the scriptures, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, then the transformation of what? The iron into the gold, of the Jivatma into Paramatma is happening. But here we are talking about action, that action becomes purified. So how wonderful. Such is the greatness. Now another example he took. What is that? Or a shower of nectar on a dead person. Such is the greatness of the Sat syllable. In this way, if you understand the secret of the Sat syllable and utter that name properly, you will realize that it is nothing but Brahman. I told this before, reality, truth, pure existence, or Brahman, the infinite reality. Sat is nothing but infinite reality, and from infinite reality point of view, from water's point of view, there is no activity called birth and death of a wave. From the absolute reality called gold, there is no birth and death of an ornament. Similarly, from Brahman's point of view, there is no activity possible. Activity is possible where there is duality, but Brahman is one without a second. Where will activity take place? See, all this requires, for some it may click, for some they might be struggling with it a little bit. कि क्या बोल रहा है? Sat, infinite reality, Brahman, there is, from Brahman point of view nothing, from water point of view there is no ocean and wave. How can from water point of view be no ocean and wave? दिखता तो है ocean and wave है, हाँ पानी में जाते तो wave है तो सही. Where has it gone? It has not gone. Take a chill pill. Take a chill pill. Cool down. These doubts only come because we are not available. Then where are we available? We are available to the body. That's why these questions come. We are not available to the infinite truth as I. We have so concretized that I am this body, and that also not many people, majority of the people, 99% of the people, I am the mother, I am the daughter, I am the father, I am the sister, I am the boss, I am the employee. इसी में in a virtual reality they are living, not even illusory reality. Father, mother, daughter, sister are virtual reality. Being man or woman is, or being the body is illusory reality. And actual reality is something else. Brahman, Atma. How much disservice you are doing to yourself? Correct. Even if we don't understand everything, when I came to Bhagavad Gita the first time, I did not understand everything. It's not possible to understand everything in the first go, because we are not Uttam Adhikari. Never consider yourself to be Uttam Adhikari. Always understand that we are lower than the lowest. Then you will put efforts to understand. Then you will put efforts to be available. Then you will put efforts to be alert. But if you have decided I am the Uttam Adhikari, then you will be loose. Then you are the Mr. Know-it-all. So first when we heard in 2 years of sadhana, of satsang, shravanam, no reading, only shravanam, 2 years, 6 classes every day, no Saturday, Sunday free, no day off, plus 6 classes every day, plus washing breakfast dishes, lunch dishes and dinner dishes for 200 people by all brahmacharis, plus gardening, plus cleaning the temple. And what did we study in 2 years? Prasthanatraya. We studied the 9 Upanishads, we studied the Bhagavad Gita, we studied Bhagavatam, we studied Yoga Sutra Patanjali, we studied all the Prakaran Granthas of Adi Shankaracharya, Atma Bodh, Tattva Bodh, Vivek Chudamani, etc., etc. We studied the entire 15 chapters of Panchadashi, and all the Prakaran Granthas or Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita we did with Bhashya. All this in 2 years. This was full, man. It was enough. But at the same, initially it became like that. And then after a few months, after 8, 9, 10, say after 1 year, then you start enjoying it. We missed also sometimes, we missed the class, it's too much, my God, what is going on? Sometimes the scripture is saying this, now it is saying exactly the opposite. पागल बना रहे हैं क्या हमको जानबूझ के? I don't want to be mad. And some, those who are thinking even deeply, one of them became mad. He lost it. It can happen. It can happen with Kundalini also. It can happen with Japa also. Remember, Unmattavat, like a mad fellow. So you can experience all this in the ashram. Some heard of unconditional love and they fell in love with one of the brahmacharinis and they eloped. This thing also happened. So, what did they understand? Brahman is unconditional love. Okay, unconditional love. And slipped. Remember what we are talking about? Action is not perfect. So, where he understood, yeah, I understood Brahman is unconditional. Yeah, I understood, aa gaya, ready for a fall. Reality, divinity, Bhagwan is not a subject to be understood. So why we are studying scriptures? To remove everything that you have understood. We are trying to undo what you have done in your life, which is collect data. We are trying to remove your data. See, wrong notions, wrong ideas, wrong approach to life. That, and why all that has come about, we are trying to undo. The scriptures are trying to undo it for you. So Om Tat Sat is another way for these ignorant people. See? Next one. Yeah, did we do it? If you understand the secret of the Sat syllable and utter that name properly, you will realize that it is nothing but Brahman. And see, this doesn't happen just like that. As I said, it's just because this is told for a person who is not ready to give up action. So he's told add Om Tat Sat, and as he starts, somewhere along the way, a spark will ignite within him. What is this Sat? What is this Brahman? What is this reality which is ever divine? And then such a person will automatically go back and study the other chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. See? Or he will be attracted to the Upanishads to know what is Brahman. What is this Sat? That which never diminishes, that which is self-effulgent, that which is the basis, foundation, common denominator of everything, without which action is not possible. Arey wah! Activity is not possible. What is this? I was thinking I do the activity, but acha. Continuing. पाहे पा ओम तत्सत ऐसे हे बोलने तेथ नेत से जेथुनी काहे प्रकाशे दृश्य जात ते तव निर्विशिष्ट परब्रह्म चोखट तयाचे हे आंतुवट व्यंजक नाम परी आश्रयो आकाशा आकाशची का जैसा या नामा नामी आश्रयो तैसा अभेदू असे उदलिया आकाशी रवीची रवीते प्रकाशी हे नाम व्यक्ती तैसी ब्रह्मची करी म्हणवनी त्र्यक्षर हे नाम नवे जाण केवळ ब्रह्म यया लागी कर्म जे जे कीजे. He says, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, the syllable Om Tat Sat takes the seeker to that abode which illuminates this visible world. Which illuminates this village. What is that because of which this world is visible? Is the world just we take one angle of approach? Is this world visible because of sun? Or is this sun which is illuminating the world is visible because of the vision, the eyes, or the senses? Or are the senses able to function because there is a mind? Without mind, senses have got no purpose. It will be blank. If you have seen a person in a vegetative state, and mind by itself is fickle. It is put in check by the intellect, by the I thought, by the Chidabhas, the reflected consciousness, which itself is a reflection of the original. The reflected consciousness is the reflection of the original, just like the sun reflecting in a bucket of water is that reflected sun is a reflection of the original sun. In a dead person, the eyes are there, the five senses are there, but they are not functioning. Mind is not functioning. So there is some factor, there is some principle which is making the equipment get activated, which is missing in a dead person, isn't it? Now, don't wait for death to find out what is that. Come to know while living. This is what Ramana Maharishi did. He played dead. Just like young girls play tea party or dollhouse. He played dead. He saw a dead person's body being taken. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. He saw the body lying stiff. And he said, what is death? So he went into his bed and he lied, played the game of dead. Without any doubt. Oh, I don't have a teacher, I have not studied any scriptures, how can I die? I never read the Kathopanishad where Nachiket went to the Lord of Death. How can I go to... This is you and me, intellectualizing for nothing. And he had the outer body experience in his case. And he saw, I am not the body. Within few days, he left for Tiruvannamalai. See? And here we are, studying text after text after text after text, but not ready to take the plunge. Plunge does not mean you have to leave everything and go to Himalayas. Plunge does not mean that you have to copy the life of any master, how he began his journey. No. You be truthful to yourself. You be truthful to yourself. By going away, nothing is going to be achieved. It was his journey. If you force yourself to go away from where you are at this moment, guaranteed, everything that you have left behind will follow you wherever you go, in your mind. Just like if we hate a person, that person doesn't know we hate, but we carry him in our heart and mind wherever we go. Same way. So don't run away from anything. Face it. Face it meaning not face the problem, face the truth, because truth is not somewhere, it is here, right here and now. So here Bhagavan is saying, the Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, the syllable Om Tat Sat takes the seeker to that abode which illuminates this visible world. Thus Om Tat Sat is the name which shows the inner essence of pure Brahman. Inner essence, the inner Atman is Brahman itself. The wave recognizing its essence as water is the infinite water. Is the infinite water. The same way, this is the power of Om Tat Sat. Thus, Om Tat Sat is the name which shows the inner essence of pure Brahman, which is without attributes, without any qualities, without any specificity. It's unspecific. Now, what is unspecific? We are so used to specificity. I got a specific shape, I got a specific nose, I got specific eyes, I got specific ears. I got specific personality, I got a specific house, I got a specific address, I got specific date of birth. And here we are talking about unspecific. What is unspecific? So, Jnaneshwar Maharaj gives an example. What is it? I do it. Just as the sky is the support of itself, so Brahman supports its name Om Tat Sat. There is no support of Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat itself is the support. And what is that Om Tat Sat? It is the Atma within and it is the Brahman without. They are the same. The space within the house and the space outside the house are one and the same. The space within the house is also called space. The space outside the house is also called space. But the space within house is limited by the boundary of the house. The space outside the boundary is unlimited. Similarly, the consciousness, the reality limited within or expressing through this equipment, it seems that way. Okay? Because our attention is on the body. And what is that consciousness? We are that consciousness. You have accepted this conditioning and limitation of Desha Kala Vastu. So that consciousness is called as Atma. That same Atma outside this wall is called Brahman. And what is that Brahman? It is the essence of the entire creation, entire universe. And what is Atma? It is the essence of this body, without which body will not function. What is Brahman? Without Brahman, the world will not function. It is that power. It is that substratum on which the world appears. It is this, I am that Atma on which this body is appearing, not the other way around, that I am inside this body. Oh. You have dug your own grave then, without going to a ground. खड़े खड़े अपने को गाड़ दिया. Just as when the sun rises in the horizon, it illuminates itself, so the utterance of the name brings liberation. When the sun rises, the light of the sun itself is illuminating the sun. In the light of the sun only you are able to see the orb of the sun early morning. Oh, we don't know how it looks like. सब कुंभकर्ण की औलाद है. Get up early morning 5:30. Then you will see. Go to Dandenong or go to your first floor. Maybe from first floor you can see. नहीं तो 11 बजे उठ रहे हैं, 12 बजे उठ रहे हैं. भाई कोविड, कहीं जाना नहीं, कुछ नहीं. So when we see the rising sun, we see the rising sun in the light of the sun. So the light of the sun is revealing the sun. Same way. This Om Tat Sat is the name of that reality, and that reality is revealed by Om Tat Sat. It illumines itself. Just like the rising sun illumines itself, Om Tat Sat illumines itself or takes you to the reality. So Om Tat Sat is nothing but the light of, is the name of that one Brahman. And there is not one only Om Tat Sat, there are so many. ईशावास्यमिदगम सर्वम तत्त्वमसि एकमेवा द्वितीय सर्वम खल्विदम ब्रह्मा ओम तत्सत. And it goes on. All these are names of that one reality only. People have given you the name. You know, in our culture, children are given names of divine, not क्या ममता, lasya. No, we are given the name of divine, so that people are calling you Narayan. Hey Narayan, where are you? Hey Narayan, where are you? And one day, hopefully by grace, you want to know who is this Narayan as you grow up. Why they call me Narayan? And parents are saying, your name is that of that God. Your name is of that God. What is his quality? Is there an iota of that quality expressing through me? No. Then I must work towards it. I must live up to my name. That is what we do now in life. If I studied medicine, I have to live up to my to what I have studied. Why don't you live up to your name? If it is worth, if it is not some Gadvadananda, then फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. So know this, that it is not the triple name of Brahman, but Brahman itself. Om Tat Sat are not three names of reality. It is the reality itself. Woman is not called by, people may call mother, daughter, sister to one woman. But the woman knows that these three roles are nothing but one, isn't it? So you also understand that this Om Tat Sat is that one reality. And that reality I am. And that reality is all that there is. And I need to get my vision checked. I need to adjust my focal length so that wherever I see the reality alone. I'm just using it for communication purpose. Mahatmas are also living in this world. They also look around. What do they see? What would be their vision? They will see that Ramana Maharishi's mother lived with him. His brothers lived with him. Did he say, you are not my brother, don't call me my brother? If Ramana Maharishi was the eldest one, I don't know. Don't call me Dada here. You are in an ashram. Nothing like that. Nothing. He did not deny the relationship, but he did not get affected by the relationship. He did not become enslaved by that relationship because his attention is on the higher. But a common person, as given here in these last few verses, for whom this mantra of Om Tat Sat is given, he gets lost. He produces one child and gets lost in the child, infatuated by the child, enslaved by the love for the child, or the woman, or the husband, or the profession, whatever. We have to get out of that if we are sincere seekers. And if we don't understand, make sure we chant Om Tat Sat before, during, with the understanding. Om before the beginning of any activity, Tat at the every activity will give a result. Don't take that result that I did it so I got it. No. Offer it to the infinite, that it is by his grace, Tat, that it has come. And don't take the position that I did the activity. Instead, that activity is happening Sat. By his grace, the activity is happening. Idanna mama, I am not the doer. And if we keep working towards it in small steps, slowly it will take over. Slowly it will take over. Now, the 27th verse. Yagne tapasi dane, yagne tapasi dane cha, yagne tapasi dane cha, sthiti saditi chochate, sthiti saditi chochate, karma chaiva tadarthiyam, karma chaiva tadarthiyam, sadityeva bhidhiyate, sadityeva bhidhiyate. Three things: yajna, sacrifice; tapas, austerity; danam, charity; and sthiti saditi chochate, is said to be good, sad iti cha uchyate, sat iti, that all these are said to be good. Sat also means good, sat also means existence, sat also means truth. See, in Yoga Sutras also, it's not the point here, I'm just thought is coming. Asan in the Ashtanga Yoga, the asan is described by Patanjali Maharaj Patanjali Maharaj in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Sat Asit iti asanam. Sat Asit. Now whether you take truth, whether you take existence, or whether you take he who is sitting in goodness, he who is sitting in truth, he who is sitting in pure existence is truly sitting, is the asan. Now that definition they overlook, and they go into the 64 asanas, Kukkurasan, Mayurasan, Gardava asan, all animal asanas. But nobody wants to, because what does it mean sitting in truth? What does it mean sitting in goodness? This is not our cup of tea, sitting in goodness. No, I want to continue to fleece the world. I want to continue manipulate the world. And to atone it, I'll do a little bit of asanas. Now, it gives me peace of mind. It relaxes me. That is not the purpose of asanas. That is side benefit. Relaxation is side benefit. Main purpose of cow is not cow dung. Main purpose of having a cow is to get the milk. And bonus is the cow dung. So with the Ashtanga Yoga that people are practicing today, asana, pratyahar, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, all this is side. This is all the bonus. True is the first one, yama niyama. If you have lived your life where you do not disturb the world with your thought, word and deed, and nor get disturbed by anyone's thought, word and deed, you are there. Where? Om Tat Sat. You are there. When you are not able to do this, then come to asan. When you are not able to do asan, then come to pranayam. Because the doership is still there. Oh, I have to do something. Okay. Pagle ko, instead of catching the nose like this, he is being told to catch the long way. Do the first one, you are there. In sacrifice, austerity and charity, steadfastness is said to be good, and action undertaken for the sake of Supreme is verily called good. All action done for the Supreme . Remember, Kurvanneveha karmani, second verse of Ishavasya Upanishad. Jiji Vishet Shatagang Samaha, perform all actions as an offering to that Isha. This was told for those who are addicted to karma, addicted to doing. Same thought here also. And this thought hundreds of times in all Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita, in 4th chapter also it was told, here also it is told, so many places it keeps coming. But हम तो कुत्ते की पूंछ दुम है ना. We don't want to become straight. We want to hold on to the ego. We want to hold on to the doership. Here he says, quickly we'll do the 5 and conclude. ते याग अथवा दाने तपादिके ही गहने तिये निफजतु का न्यूने हो निठातु परीसाचा वरकली नाही चोखा किडाची बोली तैसी ब्रह्मी अर्पिता केली ब्रह्मची होती उणिया पुरियाची परी नुरेची तेथ अवधारी निवडून येती सागरी जैसिया नदी एवं पार्था तुझ प्रती ब्रह्मनामाची हे शक्ती सांगितली उपपत्ती डोळसागा आणि एके काही अक्षरा वेगळा वीरा विनियोगू नागरा बोलिलो रीती. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, whether consisting of sacrifice, charity and austerities, although too rigorous, may reach successful termination or develop some defect and remain incomplete. But if they are dedicated to Brahman, they become one with it, and with it in the same way as gold produced from iron with the touch of philosopher's stone, when tested, is seen to be pure gold, and no one can talk of it as impure. We have never seen the philosopher's stone in our life, isn't it? But we have heard that an iron-like person called इसका नाम क्या था, वाल्मीकि का नाम क्या था, when he was a डाकू, रत्नाकर डाकू and iron coming in contact with Naradji, philosopher's stone, himself became Valmiki Rishi, another philosopher's stone. We have heard, isn't it? I gave you one example before also. An inert, good for nothing iron piece, when it comes in contact with a magnetic, with the magnet, it also starts exhibiting the magnetic quality. Before it did not have, now it has, because it was in presence of, in proximity of the mother magnet. Exactly the same way, Bhagavan Jnaneshwar Maharaj is telling that all actions may reach successful termination. Sometimes they will reach, your activity will be successful, sometimes it will not be successful. Today, so many people all over the world, they used to put money in the bank accounts, they used to get 6%, 10%, 12%. Today, 1.5%. Just because you have been doing it for so many years and it has given you returns, today it is not giving you returns. Now what will you do? Yeah, I always do like this only, always I give the lecture like this only, I always speak like this only. Lucky, everyone is listening. One day they'll give you the lecture. No, I am used to talking. How can you speak to me? पासा पलट जाएगा किसी दिन. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, sometimes the activity will reach successful conclusion, sometimes it will not reach. But when it is dedicated to the Supreme Brahman, when it is offered, here he says, but if they are dedicated to Brahman, they become one with it. Just like when the waker, be very attentive now, just as the waker, tonight you observe, when the waker is thinking of the sleep, he is doing all the activity, thinking that I have to go to sleep. And when the sleep comes, is the waker available? Or he merges in the sleep? He merges in the sleep. He doesn't have a separate identity. Same way, when we dedicate all our activity to Om Tat Sat, to the Brahman, to the reality, by these 3 syllables, Om Tat Sat, with bhav, with understanding, Even if we don't understand, just start chanting. That's it. A time will come where the doer will merge into the divine. Into what? Into Om Tat Sat. He will merge. When the doer merges, the activity will also merge. Because then there will be no doer of activity. At that very moment. See, now this you have to practice. But if they are dedicated to Brahman, they become one with it in the same way as the example was given, I already explained. And just as the rivers after joining the sea cannot be identified separately, so this opportunity is given to us. Every day Bhagavan is giving us this opportunity. What is that? Every day before going to sleep, you have a choice. Whether to go to sleep and again come back and wake up into this matrix of life called waking life with the same wife, the same husband, the same world, the same problems and the same disease. Or when you are going to sleep, allow the mind to sleep and you remain awake. Because it is not you who is going to sleep. The mind is going to sleep. Let the mind go to sleep. Find out how can you do it. How can you remain alert? Pray to God. Be extremely vigilant. Without stress though. So that opportunity is there every day. Just because when we are in sleep, we are one with reality. But because we don't know, we pop out again as the waker and the dreamer every day. But if we break this cycle by allowing the mind to sleep but remaining awake, this cycle will break. Which cycle? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Now what is happening? Waking, dream, realization. Then is there waking up from realization? No. Mind will wake up. Mind will wake up. But when the mind has woken up, you have realized that you are the reality. And when the eyes open up, naturally, what you see, what you experience is nothing but the self. This opportunity is there every night for every one of us. So you can't complain that Bhagavan is not giving me opportunity, he has given me so much responsibility, I got so much problems. Every night, whatever problems in your life are there, you go to sleep every night. Be available to yourself. Just as the river merging into the ocean cannot come back to become the river, same way the waker merging into the self, if he is awake, he cannot come back and become a waker again. But if he merges into the sleep, yes, again he will be popped out afterwards. Because he is going into the sleep with the idea that I am someone. If you go into the sleep with the awareness that I am the pure reality, I am the pure infinite reality, then there is no question of again, waking up to be a waker. And in this way, O Arjuna, now what is it? So one more thing here. Just as the rivers after joining the sea cannot be identified separately, so the actions do not show any distinctions as imperfect or perfect. They are just happening. There is no purpose. Mahatmas don't have a purpose. And those who are pseudo Mahatmas, they have a purpose. What is the purpose? We have to improve the society, we must do social work, we must build temples. Khujli hai. They left home to be the sannyasi or to realize the truth, but they forgot the truth and again got into a bigger family, bigger profession. Let the Lord do his job, otherwise he has to keep fixing it every now and then, like he's fixing it right now. Corona, trade wars. Huh? Oh, so actions happening in the presence. So, okay, let's put it this way. Actions of day and night or sunrise and sunset, are they perfect or imperfect in the eyes of the sun? They don't exist. So it is neither perfect nor imperfect. Similarly, all the actions performed by the equipment in the presence of the Chaitanya Vastu is neither good nor bad. Because action doesn't have an existence from the absolute standpoint. O Arjuna, I have described to you the power of the name of Brahman. I have also explained to you the different applications of the three-syllabic name when taken singly, which is Om Tat Sat. Have you now realized the secret of the name Brahman? If this faith increases in your mind, you will get rid of the bonds of birth and death. If you perform actions by the application of this Sat syllable in the best way possible, the action will become perfect according to the injunctions of the Vedas. I'll explain this last part in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a few minutes.